Imagine a space for South Asian women where stories are not just told, but actually felt. This is ROOH, Rising Over Obstacles and Healing, brought to you by Jyoti and Monica, two friends who set out to carve a little space and make a difference by sharing stories and fostering healing and strength within our community. We invite you to listen and reflect, finding your own path one story at a time. And just for sticking around, there's a golden biscuit at the end of each episode. When I was growing up, I always heard from my mom that I better finish everything on my plate. When we were sitting down to eat, my brother, my sister, and I, my mom just always made sure that our plates were completely empty by the time we finished eating. And I'm sure that's the case for a lot of us. So we grow up being taught that we better finish all the food on our plate because, there are people that are starving in this world. There are people who don't get to eat the type of foods we get to eat. We should be lucky. And on one hand, yes, we are lucky that we get to eat all these different foods. But on the other hand, we all have different needs. We all have different body types. We all have different nutritional requirements. So when we're told at a young age to eat everything that's served to us, that's how we grow up, and we end up having this relationship with food that's really complicated. And I know that for me, that was the case for sure. I struggled with being very skinny when I was growing up, moving to the US, gaining a ton of weight, being extremely big, and then going on one diet after another to lose weight, only to find myself gaining it back again. So this yo-yo effect that I had on my body was certainly not good for me. And it took me quite some time to really figure out what works for my body and what doesn't. I know that I'm not the only one who has gone through these issues. Many of us out there struggle with what to eat, what not to eat, how to truly nourish ourselves, and what works and what doesn't. So today, I would like to introduce a very special guest who is going to help us navigate this journey. She has over 2 decades of experience as a nutritionist. She is a South Asian woman herself, and I am very lucky to have her in my life as a very special mentor, someone I look up to, and she is going to impart all the wisdom that she has to our ROOH listeners. So please welcome Meena Singh. Welcome to the show, Meena.
Hi, thank you so much, Jyoti. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me as your guest.
Of course. I've learned so much from you over the years, and I want our listeners to also be able to learn about nutrition and truly feeding ourselves, not just body, but our mind and soul as well.
Absolutely. As you say, it's not just the nutrients that we should be concerned about. It's also about how it makes us feel.
Yes.
So your feelings should be satisfied. Actually, after every meal, you should be able to say, wow, it was a good meal.
Yeah. Maza aa gaya.
Maza aa gaya. Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they feel that only the puri chole or fried foods or mathiaiyan, only that can be tasty. That's such a wrong notion.
Yeah.
Healthy foods can be so tasty if they're made the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be very satisfying, and they can really make you feel that, wow, I enjoyed my meal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We want to get into all of that, but first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, your first memory with food.
Okay, my first memory with food, it takes me to my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's evening time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. My mom asking my dad, "Aaj ki banana hai? Kedi dal banani hai?"
Yeah.
And my dad would tell what dal to make. So it was the same question every evening around 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a different dal.
That's what you had for dinner every night?
Every night we used to have dal, and lunch would be sabji and dahi, because dahi was like a no-no at night. Mm-hmm. You are not supposed to eat dahi at night. And it was dal and any leftover sabji.
Okay.
from the lunch.
Okay.
So these are the memories that are flashing into my head. And another memory that's flashing into my head is I used to have two older brothers.
Yeah.
And they were young at that time. You know how 15, 16 years old, 18 years old and muscular.
Yeah.
And they would eat like so many rotis. And my mom would be like so tired of making those rotis. They're like, they're just not stopping. And they would be like looking at each other that today we're going to tire our mom. And they would eat like 10, 12, 15 rotis.
Oh
Who
my
knows?
gosh. Wow.
So these are the memories that are coming to my head. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's nice to think of those memories.
Yeah. And food is so important. And food is so much more than just what we're eating. There's so much emotion involved in food, right?
Absolutely. Food is porous and it always, it absorbs the emotions. Mm-hmm. It absorbs the emotions of the person who's making it.
Yeah.
So when you're making your food, you have to be in a good mood. Mm. That's why, when we go to Gurdwara or Mandir or masjid or church, the food is tastier. Why? Because the divine words have gone into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very important. And we will come back to this, but I want to know what got you started on this journey. Did you always want to be a nutritionist?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. So what did you want to be?
I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
Because I was good in science and I topped my 10th board and then I took science and I was very good in chemistry, biology. So I just decided that I'll go for the PMT exam and then be a doctor. Simple.
Okay.
But I was brainwashed not to be one by my brother who was older to me. And he's like, no. Lady doctors have no life. So I don't want you to be a doctor. So he completely brainwashed me. And then the second thing was to be a pharmacist because I was very good in chemistry. So I applied for a school of pharmacy and I got into there, but then I could not go to claim my seat because it was pouring that day.
Okay.
And the school was very far.
Yeah.
And when we went next day, they had taken the next candidate.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
They gave you one day to show up and...
Not even one day. Same day you had to go.
Oh, to claim your seat.
Yes, that's how it is. If you don't come, then next candidate was taken.
Oh my gosh.
And I cried there, sitting there, and I said to principal, and I'm like, this is what my dream is. And he's like, I'm sorry, just wait for a year. We'll definitely take you next year. But at that time in India was like waste of 1 year was too much.
Yeah.
So they said, nahi hunte, you have to do something else. So I got into Lady Evan College and there were 4 choices. And the main choice for the science student was foods and nutrition. So not knowing what foods and nutrition would bring to me, I just took that. Okay. And then first year, there were no those kind of subjects. It was biology, chemistry, those, so many other, and somehow I passed them with good marks. But then second year, and I found myself that they're teaching calories and carbohydrates and proteins. And I'm like, what are these? Why are they teaching me that?
Yeah.
So this is how my journey began. And then I was already in the second year, so I had to become one. Then I went into my master's because then I had already done my undergrad.
Yeah.
And then I got married to an army officer after I finished my master's. And then there were no jobs for dietitians. So I did Shahnaz Hussain course and I became a beautician and opened my salon.
Oh, wow.
In the Army Club.
Yeah.
And when we came here, so I had a choice either to be a beautician or a dietitian. So I'm like, no, I think dietitian will be easier. It'll be less load on my physical body.
Yeah.
So, and then I went to school here. I went to Hunter College. I did my internship.
Yeah.
And I went for the national exam, the RD exam. And then I started working. I was actually working even before I got into this federal program, WIC. So I was working with them for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And then after that, I still wasn't able to prove. By the time, what was happening was I had to work when I came to this country because we had to pay our bills.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
So that was one of the major things. And I'm like sitting down in my office thinking, what am I doing here? I don't even like this dietitian. I'm like, I'm not liking it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I need my paycheck. So I kept doing it until it hit me that a saying came in front of me and it said, if you don't get what you like what you get.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah.
So I think that just hit my subconscious. Now when I look back, I can see that it was my destiny that was shaping me, my mind.
Yeah.
And then I started liking to be a dietitian.
Yeah.
And then from liking, it converted into love.
Okay.
And I fell in love with food, and I started writing poems on food, and I started feeling that, oh my God, there's so much power in the food.
Yeah.
And that's when my counseling also became powerful. And I was the only dietitian who used to be called to the doctor's meetings every Tuesday, and we would discuss the patients because the patients were doing well. By the grace of God, they were doing well.
I personally feel that when that mindset shifted, when you fell in love with what you were doing, you did it with more love. And because you did it with more love, it was coming through to your patients. And they were able to receive not just the advice that you were giving, but the love that you were giving as well.
Yes.
Right?
I used to pray for them.
Yeah.
For each one of my patients, I would pray for them that I hope they follow this diet.
Oh. Well, I'm actually curious now to hear a poem. Do you have a poem that you said you've written poems about food? Do you have one?
Yeah, I have written multiple ones. If you give me a minute, I can pull it out from my phone.
Yes, I would love to hear one. And I'm sure our listeners want to hear one too.
Yeah, I have written different poems. Like there's one on making food with love. I used to get frustrated sometimes when people won't listen to me as a dietitian. And even to the doctors, I would tell them, I'm like, you know what? It's so much easier to be a doctor. You just have to give them a pill or injection or, and I have to change their food habits. You think it's easy for me?
Yeah. So let's hear your poem. Since we were talking about preparing food with love, maybe let's hear about that one.
Okay. Make your food with love. Foods prepared with love will induce love in you. Foods prepared with hatred will induce hate in you. Food is porous. It absorbs the words and emotions. Food is power. Food is meditation. Food can create harmony or cause separation. Food helps creating the baby in the womb of the mother. Food has enormous power. Oh, my sister, my brother. Food affects your thoughts, can control your mind. Please, open the mind to this fact. Don't act so blind. By keeping your eyes closed, you are denying the sight. Remember, there are foods that will make you crisp and bright.
Wow. Wow. I love that.
Yeah, the langar is always tasty, the food in the church, because of the love.
Love and energy that's going through.
The high energy of the love.
Yeah. Have you ever had an experience where you didn't like the food and you knew that it was because of the way it was prepared?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. I remember it so vividly. We went to this restaurant, Ruby Tuesday.
Okay.
It's closed now.
Yes, it is closed, yeah.
It used to be on Old Country Road. And we went there and I ordered, I went with a friend and I ordered my favorite salmon. And we are waiting, we're chatting and we're waiting for the food. How the chef brings the food out. So the chef came out and he brought the food, put it in front of us. And I just happened to look at the chef. I saw the anger in his eyes for some reason. I don't know, what was he angry about? He was angry and he didn't look happy and he was frowning and he just left the food on the table.
Okay. This wasn't the server. This was an chef who made the food?
The chef who made the food, and they serve the food. They bring the food out.
Oh,
That used to be the norm at that time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
The chef would bring the food out.
Okay.
And I just, for a minute, I felt that I shouldn't eat that food, but then I was hungry and there was no other choice. And we were waiting for the food for a while.
Yeah.
So I ate. I ate the food, and sure enough, next day I was sick.
Oh my gosh, really?
My throat, my everything. I was sick. I was sick for almost a week.
Wow.
And I knew it was coming from that because the anger had gotten into the food. And I didn't even pray over the food at that time. I didn't used to do my prayers over the food. And I just ate it with all the energy, his angry energy or whatever, you know.
Did you ever think about going back and giving him this poem?
No, I didn't.
You know, that would make a nice gift. You know?
Yeah, right?
But you're absolutely right. I think that we can certainly feel the love. I know my mom-in-law says the same thing. And it's evident also in when you make recipes. Like someone gives you a recipe, you follow it to the T, but for some reason, you know, how you make it versus how another person makes it, it's always different.
Absolutely.
Even following the same recipe.
It's the energy of that person that goes into the food along with the recipe.
Yeah. So as a nutritionist, you would say for sure, make your food with love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What happens if you're just so mad and angry and you're just like, you know, you just want to like...
Don't eat. Just don't make the food that day. Order it out.
Yeah.
You know, or just eat something simple. Eat a cereal with milk, you know. But please refrain.
So guys, this is a nutritionist who's saying she would rather you eat cereal with milk than an actual meal. So that's how important it is. I mean, you know, I got to give you that. That's...
Yeah, making food with love. Yeah, it's okay to cheat here and there also. It's okay to have some comfort foods because my mom was not a nutritionist.
Yeah.
She fed me those gajar halwas and all those, and I would eat one bowl after another and would never be satisfied, would eat so many. So she did not know that there's a portion control or anything.
Yeah.
So we were fed all that. So we have that in our system.
Yeah.
Until I grew up and I'm like, oh my God, I can't live without gajar halwa.
Yeah.
And I developed my own recipes, which are low-cal, and I can still have those recipes, you know.
Yeah. And that's what I think is so important is being able to still enjoy the foods that you like, but modifying them, tweaking them a little bit to make them healthier.
Oh, I have tons
and you're an
of
expert at that.
I have tons of those recipes because I'm the kind of a person who wants to have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah, we should be able to. Who came up with this saying, right? It's like, oh, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, if it's my cake, I want to eat it. You know?
True that.
I would say I agree with you 100% that we shall definitely prepare food with love. And the other point that you had sort of touched upon was portion control.
Yes.
How important is that?
It is very important because big portions are, you could be overstuffed. And you know, America is struggling with big portions.
Oh, yeah. You go to Europe and the plates are so much smaller.
Yeah, even in India.
Yeah.
I feel embarrassed when I'm there. The amount of food that I eat and the amount of food my other peers, you know, the other relatives, they eat.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're full? I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah. You know, I have a story about this. So I didn't realize until, as I had mentioned, I went on this journey and I finally realized what my body needed, how much I needed to eat, and I took control of it. And I'm happy to say that I've been able to be healthy and be a healthy weight since I've, you know, come to this understanding. And one of the first things that I did was I looked at the portion that I was eating because I wasn't necessarily eating bad foods. I've never been the type of person to just like, oh, let me eat chips, let me eat cookies, let me eat, you know, occasionally, yes, you know, we all have like cravings here and there, but it was never part of my normal diet. I always just ate like normal food, right? I would eat salads, I would eat rice and, chole, my favorite meal. Kale chole rice, right? And it wasn't until I started measuring everything that I realized how much I was eating. So even if you're eating the healthy foods foods that you think are healthy, but you're eating a large portion, that's a lot of calories. Calories eventually at the end of the day lead to weight gain, right?
Absolutely.
Excess calories. When I went on this journey, I actually, and I still to this day, I started using measuring cups, spoons, everything. So if something is a serving size is a tablespoon, I take out a tablespoon and I pour from that. If it's a cup, I take out a cup and I measure a cup of whatever it is that I'm eating. And when I started doing that is when I realized like what I was eating that I was eyeballing was so much more than an actual serving size. So I go on this journey, I make the shift and I start to eat, measured food. And I go back after I've been on this journey, I go back home to Seattle. So my mom prepared my favorite meal, kale chole and rice. So she brings out the plate, she puts it in front of me, and I'm like, Mamiya kitne lokan da khana? I'm like, how many people are eating this? She's like, it's for you. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, I'm going to eat all this? And she's like, yeah, that's how much you always ate. And I never, ever realized that, It wasn't until I had shifted my portion size that I realized how much I was actually eating.
Right. I do agree with you, Jyoti, on this about the portion sizes. And there's a little bit difference in the opinion also. Because I don't believe in deprivation either.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that you should be hungry either. So if there's a portion control that we need to do, take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. Don't drastically cut down your portions because that is one thing that I struggled with. And I still struggle at times. There are times I'm like, oh my God, I'm still hungry. Yeah. So I just allow myself to have another bowl of dal or another bowl of sabji.
Yeah.
Even if it's more. Because I don't want to have that deprivation feeling.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not feeling full or I don't have that, oh wow, it was a nice meal, then I'll be tempted to eat junk.
Yeah, because then you're not satisfied.
Yeah. Then I'll be tempted in between. I'll go somewhere and like, okay, I need some cookies. I need some chips.
Yeah.
Or something that will bring me gratification.
Yeah.
So it's rather you eat healthy food a little bit more than getting into some junk mode or not having that aha or fulfilling moment after the meal.
Yeah.
So that is very important. And also another point is that once you start cutting down on the portions, your stomach also shrinks.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you don't feel as much hungry. So let it happen. In the beginning, yes, you will be like, your stomach might be growling and all, but slowly you're working on it. But don't be harsh on yourself. If one odd day it's asking for extra food or something, that you really want, it's comforting to you, it's bringing those memories or something. Go ahead. Indulge to it. Have a gulab jamun,
Yeah.
Allow yourself. But if your it's all about how much you can control. It's all about if it listens to you, very good, go with it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then, listen to that for a while.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think anything we do has to be in moderation. It can't be all or nothing.
Yes.
And it has to be gradual, like you said. If you're reducing your portion size, do it gradually so that it doesn't leave you feeling deprived.
Right.
And one thing that I do is, so I have some foods that I feel like are just completely guilt-free, unlimited. So I eat a lot of, like, for example, vegetables. I don't measure vegetables. I don't measure like the cucumber, the carrot, zucchini, mushrooms, broccoli, that I eat unlimited. What I do measure is the carbs. So if I'm having rice or quinoa or roti, that I measure. And then, dal, I think it's okay, definitely, to have more of if you want. But with some caution there.
Yeah, it's like with some foods, you can have a very easy relationship, like with vegetables.
Yes.
You have a very easy relation. And actually, you do have to develop a lot of love and easy relationship with vegetables. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
The vegetables have to be your friends. Definitely, you should be friends with them. And the other foods, a little bit from the distance.
Yeah, you can love them, but occasionally.
Yeah, a little bit from the distance.
Yeah.
So that is very important. Very, very important. If you don't like raw vegetables, like I don't like raw vegetables a lot, unless there's a dip. So you can use hummus, or you can have some Greek yogurt and mix some garlic,
herbs,
salt, or herbs into that.
Thyme in there, or like rosemary or something.
Yeah, anything that you like, any flavor.
Actually, dill is really good.
Dill is good, or roasted zira powder.
Oh, yeah.
That's excellent. Good, mint, dried mint.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of things. Anything that you like will bring some flavor into that. So you can dip your vegetables into that. Then I can have, a lot of vegetables. But usually I like my vegetables soft. So either a soup, a minestrone soup, or chicken with vegetable soup, or mushroom soup, I would, have those soups. Or soft vegetables like bhindi sabji or gobi sabji, those kind of soft vegetables I would go. But you do have to have a lot of vegetables in your diet. So your more portions should come from vegetables.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely correct. Now, what would you say to this belief, especially in our culture? We tend to think one size fits all when it comes to nutrition. No, what are your thoughts on that?
Totally not. Everybody is different, and you have to know. Like as a nutritionist, I know I used to spend like at least an hour to hour and a half knowing the person, what that person likes, what that person different likes and dislikes for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, on different occasions. And then accordingly, you plan the diet so that they enjoy the diet. So dietitians actually make your life better.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
They don't tell you just, okay, you just stop eating and deprive and just, we don't say that.
Yeah.
So it's actually, you have to include your favorite foods, and everybody is different, and everybody's metabolism is different.
Yes.
When I was in the clinic, I was planning diets for different people, and I wasn't getting the same answers, the same responses. And that's when I started looking into that why different people are reacting differently to the same diet.
The same diet, same foods.
And then I found out that I found the answers from Ayurveda.
Oh, okay. So what does Ayurveda say?
Ayurveda says that we have different doshas, different kapha, pitta, or vata. So pitta is where you have more air in your body.
Okay.
We are made from 5 elements. We all know that.
Yes.
So pitta is fire element, and kapha is the earth element.
Okay.
So if you have more earth, you are prone to more sitting. You're more like you want to have more carbs, those kind of things. And if you have more fire, your Agni is more.
Okay.
You have more fire, so you will burn the food faster, so your metabolism could be higher.
Okay. Yeah.
And you will have more ulcers, but you may not be able to take mirchi or, so those foods have to be, taken away from your diet. But kapha can have mirchi. We can have as much mirchi as we want.
Okay.
The kapha people. But pitta people, they cannot have mirchi.
Okay. And what was the other one? The third one?
The other is, the third one is the air. Vata. Vata is air, and you will see those people, they're very like jumpy. Even their minds are like they're jumping from one topic to another quickly. They're like, everything is like so quick, like in air, it's moving very fast.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that you have to keep in mind when you are planning the diet, and accordingly, you give them.
Yeah. How do you know if you're Vata, Pitta, or Kapha?
Well, you have to be an Ayurvedic doctor to see that. But I used to see it in general, if somebody is heavy set, broad shoulders, that's more Kapha. So you have to cut down on the, carbs more, and give them more vegetables, more airy foods,
Okay, yeah.
And fire is like, don't, give them more mirchi, or if it is pitta, then you have to refrain them from those foods. And so accordingly, I would just do a little judgment on my own. I used to read this book by Dr. Lard.
Yeah.
That was my reference point. A lot of time, my reference point is Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shabads are said about the food in there. Alap ahar, sulap sididra. Means less food, small portions.
Oh,
Alap,
wow.
less
That's in
food.
Gurbani.
That's in Gurbani.
Yeah.
Then there's another one. Jit khade man pidiye, tan pidiye, sorry. Jit khade tan pidiye, man mein chale bikar.
Mm-hmm.
Baba, hor khana khushi khwar. So that food is not good. That will bring you, vikar. That will bring you
Ailments?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that food is not good.
Yeah.
So you have to judge that, are you eating out of just because it's laid out there, because of the external cues, because the food is there and you happen to be in that party and it's hard for you to say no. So you're just eating because everybody is eating. They're like, khalo, because that's our culture also.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, please eat. And because people show their love through food.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
So you have to be able to say, I appreciate your love, but I'm not going to be able to eat this. I will take your love in other form. We'll sit down together, have a cup of tea together.
Yeah.
I appreciate the love, but at the same time, I'm sorry, I won't be able to eat this much food, or I'll have a very small portions and I'll take the rest home and I'll eat it later.
Yeah. And, I'd like to say to listeners, let's not force people to eat, because in our culture, we do that a lot. I tend to ask once, and if the person says they don't want to eat, I don't keep asking. Then afterwards, I feel like, well, did I not push hard enough? Did I come across as not being hospitable? Should I have asked this person like multiple times, are you sure? Are you sure? Because to me, I think if someone comes to my home and if they're hungry, if I ask once, they'll say, okay, they'll have something. But if they tell me, no, I'm fine, I already ate, I don't push past that. And I think the reason is because I don't like it when I go somewhere and I'm being forced to eat. So I think we have to have this separation. Do not equate feeding someone with love. Yes, nourishing someone is important. Nourishing your body is important. But I think when we start equating it to love.
I agree with that.
Right?
I totally agree with you. It's not a good idea to push anyone. And especially in our culture.
Yeah.
There's so much pushing about the food.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, main banaya. So to see they feel disrespected. Please stop taking it as a personal disrespect.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not, because people are becoming aware of what they're putting in their mouth. They're respecting their own bodies and they are knowing their own bodies and respect their boundaries.
Yes. And that's one thing we've talked about multiple times in our culture. We certainly lack clear, defined boundaries. There's no such thing as having boundaries in our culture. So, I think we have to wake up to this, and we have to understand that even though we're feeding out of love, that food, if the person does not want it or they have eaten and they don't need to eat more, is actually eventually going to cause ailments.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would like to talk about a very sensitive point at this time, which is the langar that is served in the gurdwaras.
Oh, yeah.
It bothers me. There's so much oil. There's so much butter. There's so much ghee and cream into the foods.
Yeah.
I know langar is auspicious. It brings peace, it's tasty, it's yummy. But the kind of langar they are serving these days and spending so much money.
Yeah.
Jalebi on the stall. Then there's laddu on the stall.
Yeah.
There's noodles.
Yeah.
There's pizza. There's burgers.
Yeah.
Is it really serving any purpose?
No, it's not. I'll share a story with you. This was a few years ago. I was at one of the local gurdwaras and, I had lost quite a bit of weight when I finally figured out my, whole situation. And the granthi at the gurdwara, he saw me and he was like, in Punjabi, he was like, "Tu to bahut baar ghutaya, you've lost a lot of weight," right? And he, was heavy set. He had a belly that was sticking out quite a bit. And he goes to me, but he was like the grandfatherly type, and he's like, Minnu das, tell me, how should I lose this weight? And I start to go into this whole explanation of like, food. And he told me about exercise. He's like, Mere ko exercise nahi hundi. And I said to him, that's while exercise is important, that's not the key factor. Diet is the key factor, right? So he goes, let's walk downstairs to the Langar Hall. Aaj chole bhature bane a. Nale apan chole bhature khane a, nale tu minnu 10 par kidan katana.
Chalo gallan ho gayiyan, hun apan chole bhature khaiye.
And he goes, let's eat these chole bhature and then you tell me how to lose weight. And I said, well, first of all, you have to stop eating chole bhature. And he goes, "Eh kam to nahi mere ko hona,"
फिर तुसी दूजा काम भी रह नहीं दियो.
So, I mean, I'm laughing about it, but that's the reality for a lot of people.
It's I don't know what to say about it because I have very similar feelings. And I was doing seva in a gurdwara. And our slogan was healthy langar, fit sangat, So we are teaching them.
Yeah.
We are like not teaching them. I don't want to use that word there. We are like trying to make foods that are like healthier versions, and bread pakoras we made without any oil or very tiny bit of oil on the tawa, and a lot of other things we made. And then somebody came and they're like, okay, today you made, then please don't make it again. Dobara na banayo. And the other person comes and says, ki ho gaya guru karno? Main apne gharon pipa ke oda leke aanna wa.
Oh my God.
Because they feel that they connect prosperity with kyo.
Yeah.
They connect prosperity with having puriyan chole. So they don't understand that it's not the case anymore.
Yeah. We live in an age where it's overly abundant.
Yes. And it's actually bringing ailments and diseases and problems and weight.
Yes. Well, I think just generally we all should be mindful of how we are and understand that food, diet plays a big part in this. I'm one of those people. I thought I was eating very healthy and I thought something was wrong with me. I kept gaining weight. Though I was eating healthy, I was just eating a lot. And I needed to eventually cut down my portions.
True.
Right? So, what I would like, and I'm sure all of the listeners as well, let's have some tips. What are some of your tips for when it comes to food? I know you mentioned one thing, first and foremost, prepare your food with love. Put the right kind of energy in your food when you're eating. I also really liked what you said about praying over food. What is and I know that a lot of people do this even in other cultures. What is the meaning behind it and what is the aim when you do this?
The meaning that I understand is when you pray over the food, it becomes prasad.
Okay, yeah.
What we say is, Kaam, Krodh, Ar, Lobh, Moh, Binas Jai, Ahmev, Nanak Prabh Nagati, Kar Prasad, Gurudev. That whatever I'm about to put in my mouth, please make it prasad. Odi apni nazare dete pa deo.
Okay.
So that's one thing I learned from one of the preachers who came, and I happened to hang out with him for some time, and I learned it there that this is how he was eating his food. So I picked that habit from there, and since then I've been like praying over food, and as soon as it comes to me, I pray over it. Having said that, I have struggled with weight all my life, going up and down, up and down. So it is like a constantly, you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
But there are phases that you could come through in life. There was a phase I remember, I broke my meniscus in the gym. And then I could not work out.
Yeah.
For 2.5 years, I was barely moving. So there was no choice, but my weight kept creeping up.
Yeah.
So I was trying not to eat, but, certain foods you end up eating.
Well, also when you're going through something like this, you want comfort.
You want comfort also, and you're like, wow, what do I do? And it lasted for 2.5 years. And then COVID.
Yeah.
COVID was another thing that hit me, and it hit a lot of people.
It did.
And when I came out, I'm like, wow, my stamina has gone down.
Yeah.
I can't even walk 5,000 steps.
Mm-hmm.
And I was breathless. So there are phases, and people would think that, oh, you're a dietitian. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm human too.
Yeah.
And I go through my own phases.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed to say I gained weight, but then the only thing is that you have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
At least try to get rid of it.
Exactly.
Even if it is a slow process, keep on trying, keep on trying, keep on trying. Never give up.
The other thing too, I think, is that always give yourself love. I think we're so tough. We're so critical of ourselves, and the language that we use on ourselves sometimes is so hurtful, and we wouldn't dare say that to another person, but we think it's okay to say it to ourselves.
Yeah, that's true too, but it's cultural too.
Yeah.
It's cultural. I remember when I gained weight and I went to Gurdwara once and I met this Mataji and she came up to me. She's like, in front of everyone, she's like, "बहुत मोटी हो गई है तू."
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh
yeah.
my God. I'm like, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰਸਤਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਪਤਲੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਵਾਂ, you know, ਸੁੱਖੀ ਸਾਂਦੀ ਪਤਲੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਵਾਂ, ਕਿਸੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਨਾਲ ਪਤਲੀ ਨਾ ਹੋਵਾਂ. So there are phases, man. What can you do?
Yeah,
But
no.
continue to love yourself, like as you said, self-love, you know. They don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
They don't know that I'm human too. Yes, I've studied about dietitian. Yes, I have all that knowledge, but hello, I'm human.
Yeah.
Don't you see that?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human. And this is something that, like you said, seasons change, things change. Mm-hmm. Give yourself grace, have love, come at yourself from a place of love, and just know that we're all a work in progress.
Absolutely, absolutely. Self-love has to be cultivated. We're not used to loving ourselves. We're so used to, because everybody else is finding faults.
Yeah.
So we also end up finding faults in us. We have faults. I'm not saying we don't have faults and flaws. Work on those. But at the same time, at the end of the day, like you forgive others, forgive yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this talk has been so informative and entertaining. I love that poem about preparing food with love. And I would like, as our golden biscuit today, I would love for you to just give us, like, if someone is starting on this journey of taking care of their health, looking at their food intake and whatnot, I would love for you to tell us what should actually be on a person's plate when they're eating.
So first of all, I would advise that you make the size of your plate smaller.
Okay.
So when you have a little smaller, not too much small, you don't want to clutter it either. Mm-hmm. So a little bit smaller than what your normal plate is. And then you put vegetables as the first one, which is the most portion should be covered by the vegetables.
So like half of the plate?
I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another portion, which is also big enough, should be the protein. Mm-hmm. It could be a dal, whether you want to have sprouted dal, or you want dal cooked the normal way, or whichever way, the salad
tofu,
form.
fish, chicken, if you eat meat.
Right. If you are a non-vegetarian, you can have fish, you can have chicken. Tofu is also bean curd, so you can have that. Mm-hmm. Paneer also, but I'm not too fond. It's high calorie and it's very dense. Mm-hmm. Unless you can make paneer at home, which is from non-fat milk, you know, or low-fat milk. You know, you can curdle it at home, and that could give a little bit more freshness to the paneer. And then the third part would be from the carbs, which could be your roti. You can have jawar roti, you can have makki di roti. Jawar, which is millet, you know, millet is it's a very good grain. It's a king of the grains, if I call it, won't be wrong.
Yeah.
So you can have bajra roti or jawar, sorghum, you know, different kinds of millets are there. Mm-hmm. And or some rice or quinoa if you like quinoa, because I know I personally don't like quinoa. So
I love quinoa.
I know. So I'm getting into sorghum these days. I cook sorghum just like how you cook rice.
Oh, okay. And that's millet. It's
That's
type
millet.
of a millet.
It's a type of a millet.
Okay, yeah.
Jowar, I think that's jowar.
So you can make jowar like rice?
Yes, I take the whole sorghum.
Okay.
You get it from the grocery stores, Patel and all.
Yeah.
And I just put the same double amount of water, and it's so grainy and chewy, and I love it.
Okay, well, you're making it for me one day. I'm coming over. You're making this for me.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it's half of your plate vegetables, and then the other half that's left, like a slightly bigger half, should be the protein.
Yeah.
And then like a slightly smaller half of that half should be
the carbs.
Okay.
Right.
And I would say that it should be as colorful as it can be as well.
Absolutely. Different colors. They have different flavors, and they have different vitamins and
different nutrients.
Different nutrients. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I think that's great advice. And I think that's a great first step for someone who's starting out on this journey. And this is a topic that we can certainly talk about in detail and cover a lot of information, but I think we have to do it in small doses.
Absolutely.
So this was just sort of the introduction based on all the feedback we get from our listeners, from you guys. We can come back and offer more information, more detailed information if you'd like. And actually, Meena and I are sort of a team. And we are available if you feel like you need some hand-holding and you're serious about going on this journey and you want tailored diet plan and you want someone to sort of hold your hand. We can work together to provide that care for you.
Absolutely. So we would love to do that.
Yeah. So you can actually reach out to us. I will include our contact information in the show notes. You can always send an email to roodaraz@gmail.com or just send us a message on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but I just want to thank you again, Meena, for coming on and for enlightening all of us. It's been a very productive conversation, I would say.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. I think it was equally enlightening for me also. Whenever you're talking about something, giving information to others, you get enlightened too.
Yeah.
It's not just that you're helping someone else, you are also getting helped in return.
Yes.
And that's the thing I love about counseling, that you are helped too. You're not just giving therapy to others, you also get therapy
You're
yourself.
absorbing it as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Those files are coming on top, and that's important, that we have to eat healthy. And please feel free to approach us. We'll be more than happy. Jyoti's husband is a doctor, and Jyoti is a health coach, and I'm a nutritionist with the experience. And we would love to hold your hand. We have gone through it also personally.
Yes.
And we understand what it is to not be able to lose or not be able to fit into the clothes that you want to. We know that feeling, and far from mocking, we'll be here to help you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're here to break all the myths that are surrounding food and surrounding exercise and whatnot, all the cultural shackles we have on us.
I love that word, shackles.
Yeah, we
do have those.
A lot.
In the disguise of love.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And another point I want to bring, which we'll be discussing next time, will be the exercise. We do have to incorporate some kind of exercise. It doesn't have to be a boring gym exercise if you don't like it. If you like it, sure, go ahead and do the treadmill or elliptical or whatever. But there are so many other beautiful ways of exercising.
Well, I'm a health coach and I've never been into the gym.
See?
And I exercise daily, but it's because I do what I love to do.
Exactly.
And you can do that without going to the gym.
Without going to the gym. I do go to the gym though.
Yeah.
Not every day, but I would go 2 times or 3 times in a week. But the other times I like to do different things. I would like to play tennis or I would like to play golf. Now my new passion is Kathak.
Oh. Yeah, that's nice.
I started to learn Kathak.
Yeah.
So follow what you like to do. You know?
Exactly. Just make it a habit to move. That's it.
That's it. And make sure you break into a little sweat.
Yes. Okay, well, we're breaking into a sweat right now because we're recording in a room with no AC. And it's kind of hot. So let's just wrap it up today.
I'm fine, though. I don't feel hot much. Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you so much again. And listeners, we'll be back again. Eat well and
Stay well.
Stay well. Yes.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to ROOH. We appreciate you joining us as we cultivate a community of strong, empowered women, one story at a time. If you or someone you know has a story you'd like to share, please contact us at roohdaraz@gmail.com. That's ROOHDARAAZ@gmail.com. Also, do us a favor and please share this podcast with your sisters, your mom, your friends, aunties, your eyebrow lady, like any lady you know. You get the idea. Till next time, Khush raho, be well.